Hey, this is Leighton from Just Collect. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We have a really special interview that we're about to show you with a very long-time collector. His name is Uncle Curtis. He is generally grown up in the Nebraska area, and what he has put together is an incredible array of not just baseball cards, but advertisements, premiums, some regional issues, and you'll have to tune in to see what else. And I am here in Nebraska with a lifelong collector named Curtis. And Curtis, why don't you tell the audience just a little bit about some of the different types of things you collected, because I've had a ball over the last few days, not just going through everything, but I explained to you, I've kind of learned a few things that maybe I didn't know before coming out here.
Well, I loved Babe Ruth, and so I was really after his collectibles. And so I had a pretty good run of his premiums, you know. And so I think
What's a premium, so the audience knows?
a premium is something that came on a product, you know, or maybe it was on the back of a box. It was, you know, it could be a food premium, you know, it could be a lot of different ways it was issued, you know. But a lot of the Babe Ruth stuff is back in the 30s, you know, and so that was one of my main focuses for collecting. But also big in anything oddball, you know, just you know, the Topps cards, the Bowman cards. Yeah, that was all ones all those years I started buying baseball cards in 1955. 55 Bowmans was my first packs out of the store. So, and from then on, I kept at it. And my brothers, after I lost interest, they kept the collection going. And after a while, we just had a completely run of cards through the 50s, 60s, 70s, and it kept on going.
So I was just very impressed at the breadth of your collection. And as we were going through some of the Babe Ruth premiums, some of the really fun Dizzy Dean premiums, it really is like a window into what America was like decades ago. Whether it be you could find a neat little toy or a card in a cereal box, or send away in the mail with 20 coupons.
Right.
So it seems like you were totally engulfed in the whole experience.
How I got my experience was going through magazines and finding the advertising. And in that advertising, they'd have coupons that you could cut off and you could mail in for the premiums. And by reading through these older magazines and the advertising, it gave me a lot of knowledge. I could go online, you know, with the title of a book, you know, or it gives me some clues of where to search, you know. It really helped me out a lot to get that type of information off of just magazines, you know, just read.
That was a great point, Curtis, and something that I learned from you over the last few days is if you are unsure about something from a certain time period, especially, you know, decades ago,
right?
It's not necessarily Google or the internet that's going to give us our answer. Sometimes it's the old ads or the newspapers that really, and you showed me your methodology, like we didn't know where this champion patch was from, but you said, I can prove to you that it's a Babe Ruth premium.
Yep, it is.
Even though it doesn't say Babe Ruth anywhere.
Yeah.
So that was really fun.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit, because I know you said you had a really nice Topps run at one point, you collected the Bowmans, but you said you were more in the oddballs.
Yep.
Do you remember how you fell in love with Post cereal? Because I can tell you, you were in love with it. You have a tremendous Post cereal collection.
Well, we bought Post cereal boxes right out of the grocery store, you know, at the time, you know, and we, you know, we eat the box as fast as we could, and then we go back and buy another box, you know. It was, and of course,
did your parents want to know why you were eating so much cereal, or they knew why?
I think they knew why.
Okay.
Yeah, they knew we were after.
Did they ever discourage, or did they encourage you?
No, they encouraged.
That was nice.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had nothing against it. You know? Okay. Yeah, so and it was my parents that kept everything. You know, you know, like some parents, they throw things away. You know. And
Thank you to Curtis's parents.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So that was You know, there was all sorts of collectibles. You know, all the inserts from the Topps packs. You know, in the '60s. You know, they had all the
decals, rub-offs,
the extra
transfers.
Extra stuff. I kept all that stuff, and then, you know, if I was a little bit, you know, not complete in the set, you know, I'd search for it, you know, and try to replace it, you know, in either trading or buying, you know, later on, you know. So
absolutely. What I'd like to do is talk about a few of the more special items in your collection, which, even though we weren't necessarily on the exact same page for value, I want to discuss with everyone what they were and also what we're going to do with them. Meaning the Philly cigar mantle, the Babe Ruth Butterfinger, and then Joe DiMaggio, I think it was an R312.
Yeah, R312.
Yeah, so why don't we talk about those for a minute? Because, I mean, the Philly cigar mantle is super cool. But I don't know if a lot of folks out there know what it is.
Well, I have the advertising for it. That's I found it in the magazine. There's a picture of it, and then when you see it later on, for sale, or or you get a chance to get it, you know to go after it because you know what it is. You know how old it is. And that helps a lot. And that's one of the reasons that I was able to get that picture of Mickey Mantle. Philly cigars. I mean, it's a good advertisement. So
it is.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to grade the Philly cigar mantle. We're going to grade the Butterfinger Babe Ruth. We're going to grade the R312 Joe DiMaggio.
Yep.
And then we're going to let Curtis know what they grade. And if they grade a little bit higher than we originally thought, we're going to make sure that we take care of Curtis.
Good.
And if it's about the same, of course, obviously we're hoping to come back out in the future because you have some other items, meaning autographs, non-sports. You did a very good job of showing me a binder just to kind of whet my appetite, and he certainly has done that. But I've been out here for days, and I do have to go home as I take care of my son, Crosby, who's 9 years old, in just a couple days. So I do have to go at some point.
Yeah.
But I wanted to thank you so much for not only having me in your home, but really thank you to you and to Connie for preparing everything and organizing it in such a way that we could maximize my time when I was out here to get through as much as possible.
Well, I consider you my friend, so
Thank you, Chris.
yeah, I hope to keep on having some more time with you.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we're going to be able to do some business in the future. And like I said, I really had a wonderful time over the last few days. And probably have about 90 minutes or so to pack up. So we could probably talk for hours, but we're going to wrap up this video now. And I hope that you enjoyed this, as well as the interview with Curtis. And stay tuned for the full story on our blog at blog.justcollect.com. Hey, this is Leighton from Just Collect. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. It was an incredible collection. And speaking of thank yous, check out the thank you note that I received from Uncle Curtis and his family. What a wonderful experience and story.